break. But because of to take the break, so right now we're going to take that item D. Item D is the dream and vision of our founding fathers. Please be seated. The dream and the vision of our founding fathers. All right, someone is going to speak to us about that for the next 30 minutes. And then after that, we will go into our group deliberations and discussions. All right? To speak to us about the dream and the vision of our founding fathers, we're going to invite our brother Abdurrahman Ododo to come and speak to us. Abdurrahman Musa Ododo. He might introduce himself a little bit more, whatever he wants to do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I greet you all with all humility and profound respect. You're welcome. This is New Nigeria. I'm eternally blissful to be here today. And I'm going to carry us through, it's not a lecture per se, it's an awakening, an intense awakening of who we truly are as a people and our responsibility for all our responsibility. So please. So we'll be listening to, we'll just go back to, we'll be going back to our history. So there's a video that's going to show us our independence now, so that it will introduce us to our history. Our history is not too far. It's only that sometimes ago we got this. They took history out of even the syllabus of our curriculum, and that is pathetic. I heard maybe they are returning it now, because if you don't know where you're coming from, you would never know where you're headed as a people. Yeah, he will forget history. He's doomed. So we need to go back to our history now, because we will be looking at the dreams of the founding.
Lagos Racecourse is the scene, and it's the afternoon of Nigeria's great day, with thousands awaiting the climax and resolved to relish every minute leading up to it. Princess Alexandra, with Sir James Robinson, the retiring Governor-General, must have enjoyed the whole jubilant atmosphere of the occasion. A first-class show was put on for the benefit of spectators. Entertainers fairly let themselves go, tumbling head over heels with delight. Celebrating, however, as we all know, can be a bit exhausting. The princess was received with yells from the kids. Her friendly charm had quickly made her very
might
popular.
introduce himself a little bit more.
It was as the representative of Her Majesty the Queen that Princess Alexandra of Kent returned in the evening. She was about to hand over Nigeria's constitution. And presently, quoting the Queen's own words, she was to wish Nigeria a great and noble future. This was the moment for which the country's leaders, in partnership with British authorities, the Nigerians themselves emphasized that all has been done in friendship, and that friendship will continue.
Friendship will continue.
Meanwhile, top-ranking Nigerians in dignified silence as the climax of Independence Day was reached. In handing over the documents to the Federal Prime Minister, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Her Royal Highness handed over sovereignty to a new nation.
The sovereignty of Nigeria, New Nigeria.
The Union flag,
the Union Jack flag is down. That is the last time.
Princess Alexandra was present, of course, for the final ceremony that took place on the stroke of midnight. This was the dramatic takeover by the new nation's own green and white flag.
Nigeria is born.
The next day came the state opening of Parliament. Princess Alexandra, wearing a white embroidered gown and a diamond tiara, entered the chamber where 350 senators and representatives and many guests had assembled. This was the first session of the first Parliament of the new Nigeria.
Of the new Nigeria, the first session.
Dr. Ezekwe, President of the Senate and Governor-General Designate, addressed the Princess, asking her to open Parliament by reading the speech from the throne.
So I'm gonna speak to this now. And so this awakening of who we truly are as our responsibility of this generation. Every generation must discover its own purpose, betray or fulfill it. And we are ready to fulfill the dream of our founding fathers now. Nations are created. If you don't create one, you will never build one. For what is nation building? Nation building is building a common sense of purpose, a dream that everybody believes in, and come to fruition against. And that's what we want to do today. And it is the unseen that thing. If you don't create anything in life, you can never build it. These are sometimes these an eternal principle. And I want to do that now. You might wonder, how do we create a nation? It is not. We are not an America. We are not America. But I'm just don't know where you're coming from. You never know where your head is. So when Thomas Jefferson said, he forget his strength. So we need to go back to our history now, because Thomas Jefferson position upon paper. He said, and I quote, "We hold this truth to be self-evident. All men are created equal. That they are endowed by their right. That among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness."
Lagos race courses the scene. It's the afternoon of Nigeria's great day. Thousands awaiting the climax, and resolved to relish every minute the Alexander, James Robinson, retiring Governor General, must have enjoyed the whole jubilant atmosphere of the...
Because without this, you will wonder. Without this, you will wonder why all this going on. I'm telling you, there are principles of life. Just like Brian Leslie have been carrying us. There are principles of life that, if you understand, life goes the way you want it. In fact, you can produce success, you can produce anything. We are co-creator of our God here. We are the Signal. We are made in the image of God to create that, to govern on the behalf of God on this earth. And if we didn't take responsibility, we have been ordained and endowed to comprehend the universe. And that we must, because we are mini universe, we are cosmic citizens. So we must establish that which we want on this planet called Nigeria today. And it's going to be an archetype of the new civilization. A divine civilization, a divine new order. We are going to establish it today. Because that's the dream of those men. And I'm going to do that in a minute.
Meanwhile, top-ranking Nigerians did dignified silence.
You had it in Nigeria that time. We were not there now. I was not born. But
in many of the documents,
the Union Jack down and down forever. Let me tell you the symbolic meaning of that.
Royal Highness handed over sovereignty to a new nation.
That commentator said he's going down and never to rise.
The Union flag,
Union Jack down. That's the last time.
Princess Alexandra, of course, for the final ceremony, took place on the stroke of
and you
midnight.
tell the earth what you want in the world, and it's going to be. That is how
This
we
was
are.
a dramatic takeover by the new...
I'm consciously observing this silence. But I want to carry you.
Green and white.
I want to Nigeria is born. He said fundamental problems cannot be solved with the same knowledge level that created them. So, like if you want to take over something now, you must be above that thing. So I want all of us to rise our inner. We want to exploit the inner dimension of our power within.
Next day
That
came
Almighty
the
God
same.
has bestowed within us. You might be surprised that few people, just like Professor Leslie said, some people said, few people, how can we think? How do you think that few people
Princess
seated in a room
Alexandra,
can
very
create
white
it?
and bright
You
eyed.
will see what is everything. It took Thomas Jefferson a few words to
Down here in the chamber where 350 senators and representatives and many guests had assembled.
You always remember that. Remember who we are. I remember during the inaugural, they call this address there, inaugural address of Obama. He said, and I quote, he said, this nation, there's something, because of time, I just want to, let me just paraphrase him. The strength of their nation is not in all these skyscrapers you see in America. He said it's in the power of their ideals.
This was the first session of the first parliament of the
what America is. So we want to establish that.
new Nigeria.
The new Nigeria, the first session.
Dr. Ezekwe,
Anything, just listen wrapped and look. Let's go back to him.
President of the Senate and Governor General designate,
First
President.
in the life of a people called Declaration of Independence. That man, that time, Tafawa Balewa,
asking her to open parliament by reading the speech from the throne.
That's what he said. He said, and I quote, "Today's ceremony marks the culmination of a process which began 15 years ago and it has now reached a happy and successful conclusion. It is with justifiable pride that we claim the achievement of our independence to be unparalleled in the annals of history. He now went forward and said, this great country which has now emerged without bitterness or bloodshed. Can you beat that? Do you know that this nation that you are seeing bloodshed today emerged without bitterness or bloodshed? Let me quickly corroborate that with his fellow compatriot, the Great League of Africa. The first school, 15th January 1966. He said, and I quote, violence has never been an instrument used by us as founding father of Nigeria Republic to solve political problems. In the British tradition, we talked the colonial office into accepting our challenges for the demerit and merit of our case for self-government. After 6 constitutional conferences in 1953, 1954, 1957, 1950, and we are very happy that not a political party ever adopted violence means to gain our political freedom. Look at it, it's corroborating. He said, we are very happy that not a blood of the British or Nigerian blood was shed in the course of our national project, on the course of our national struggle under the sun. So where do we see this bloodshed today? We must go back to history. Do you know that this great entity war emerged without bitterness or bloodshed? Where do we see that today? Meaning that it's not part of us. I'm telling you, we're going back to who we really are as a people. We're going back to who we really are. And we're going to address 3 key questions today to establish that new Nigeria we're talking about. The first question